Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Let's dive straight into the reading. This will be the classic spread and we will start with a quick oracle message, and today it's going to be the wisdom of the oracle. So let's see what we have for the feminines, masculines, and then we'll dive deeper into the energy. What do we need to know specifically about the journey right now? What kind of theme is coming up? And of course, we'll also see how each of the twin collectives is feeling about this connection at the moment. Thank you for being here, and I hope you are guys having a good day, that I found you in a good mood. If not, hopefully this guidance is going to help you out and is going to give you some food for thought for what to do next. And if you are wondering for more ways to connect with me, the services I provide, what I do, check out the description box, please. And of course, I appreciate all of your likes, subscriptions, comments, shares. It always helps me spread the word and confirm that this is needed and I should continue with this free public readings. All it glitters for the feminine. Yeah, be careful with what kind of choices you're making right now. And especially if you have a particular situation in mind, then assess your options that you're considering, or solutions maybe, whatever it is, from this perspective. Like, why are you even considering that solution? Is that, or that option, does it look good on paper? Is it something that your friends are encouraging you to do? Which might still be, I mean, I know it's not literally glitter, but it still means that there is some kind of external factor to it. It's not how you feel, it's because, like, how it will be accepted by other people, for example, right? Okay, and the masculine's got the yin energy. This is so interesting. I was visiting a friend. Just stopped by for a chat and some tea and some cards as well. And her favorite color is pink. Different shades of pink, but yeah, in her apartment, like, it doesn't have a lot of stuff, but it's pink as much as possible. Like the cups, the pots and pans, pans, the couch, the carpet, I don't know, the office chair, like anything that could be pink is pink. Some of it is other colors, like it's not too much in your face, but it's adorable when you realize it all when you see it. So this really speaks to me right now, and I'm experimenting with watercolors, which I spoke about quite a lot in the last episode of my podcast. And I feel like pink is going to be one of the colors that I'm going to be working with for my projects, for the marathon that I'm taking. But for the masculines watching, or like generally in terms of the masculine energy, this is that connection to the feminine energy. And it can be feminine within, it can also be understanding on a deeper level what the integrated feminine energy is like. And it can look like an example with a particular person, right? Because all of us already have kind of like some kind of assumption and prejudice for how the men are, the women are, whatever. Doesn't even have to be gender, of course, but like how the feminine energy is, how feminines behave, how they the choices they make, the values they have. Like, we have that view, whether we admit it or not, for each feminine and masculine collective. And so in this case, because there is some kind of energy, feminine energy in masculine's life that like gives a fresh vibe to it. It could be a friend, could be of course a partner, a sister, a daughter, a mother, could even be somebody who's more like a stranger, like somebody that just randomly met in the street, but this person showed some kind of kindness, some kind of wisdom, something that spoke to divine masculines of like, wow, I never would expect a feminine to support me this way, right? Or like to not take advantage of me when they can, or something, like this is a fresh perspective now. And it might not be big, but it triggered something inside that is now asking more questions about how, like, what is my perspective of the feminine in general, and is that correct, or is it just the consequence of the life experience that I had? Okay, let's see what we have with tarot. I'm using the Lightseer's tarot today. Bottom of the deck is Three of Swords. Yeah, as we're understanding the dynamics and the patterns better, it also opens up certain fears, certain insecurities, certain wounds. It's kind of inevitable, it's connected. But what I like to say and like to see in this kind of situations is the opportunity to rise above, you know, to heal this, to finally deal with it consciously. And I know that it's not even ideal that way. Like, it may take, you know, more than one go, more than one cycle to deal with an issue, depending on how deep it is, how big it is. But still, like, now that I know, you know, I'm feeling this and I can, like, I feel it and I can heal it. That kind of idea. And I can feel more freedom and I can feel more joy in my life, even if it's an additional 1% of joy that I'm feeling, right? It's already worth it. Okay, and Six of Swords. Yeah, peace and freedom, that's what we're moving towards. Three of Wands clarified by Eight of Wands. Lots of wands for the feminine. So it's like kind of like the opposite, because this is fiery energy. Yeah, and I'm getting with this that the feminine is preparing for some kind of new endeavor, new adventure, new project. This is like the preparation steps, but they're very specific, you know, like, you know, like, I don't know, let's take an example. You're like, she's got a surfboard here. Maybe you're taking up surfing as an example, right? Never done it before, but now you set your mind on it and you already booked some lessons and picked obviously where you're gonna train. And like there are other things around it that you're taking care of, like you've chosen the board, maybe you've upped your routine at the gym because you want to be ready, maybe you bought a lead suit, you know, like whatever it is, like maybe little things, but you're now preparing for it, right? And it's gonna be big, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna take you forward. It's gonna, I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's gonna change your life in some way, right? So it's like preparing for that launch. Masculines, you've got the strengths clarified by King of Swords. Yeah, for masculines, the inner journey continues in admitting certain things to themselves. We started with talking about the feminine energy, and then it's like, you know, you start with asking questions, how valid is my perception of the feminines? But then it goes back into, of course, specific experiences, you know, specific feminine figures in their life that is like, you know, reminiscing about those. And right now, masculines are asked to step up and show courage and admit where, you know, their rationale was wrong in there. Like, they made assumptions, they acted in a rush, they, you know, became emotional and reactive in the moment, right? And it kind of unraveled. And yes, of course, two people are responsible, most likely, but you know, it could have gone a different way, even from the perspective of like, I could have handled it differently. You know, it didn't have to be that bad or that uncomfortable or whatever it is. Plus, remember that we're right in the middle of Mercury retrograde, which means that we are given these themes for a reason, right? This is not necessarily the time to build new relationships, but this is definitely time to assess how we've been doing it so far and what do we want to do different in April when the retrograde is over, and we'll get all these opportunities coming in to make new connections, or maybe to go deeper with people that you already know, right? And then you can do it with the higher quality energy. Additional question for today is the world clarified by Ace of Swords. Look at that. I was just talking about cycles and new beginnings. And this is that, right? We're closing cycles where we were telling ourselves some kind of a story, or we just, you know, didn't, somehow there was a reason why we wanted to stay in the safe space, you know, in the status quo. And now it's changing. How is it changing for the feminine? Because you can see clearly what's going on. Like, why where you're limiting yourself. Feminines, you've got Ace of Cups, clarified Knight of Wands. The Ace and another Ace. This is so beautiful. Both of them have the masculine energy. Oh no, not the masculine. This is the feminine energy actually. Anyway, never mind. So for the feminines, what is changing now? There is more love and passion that comes into your life, right? For yourself, your craft, people that you love, you know, in general, mission and purpose. There is that internal fire that helps burn away the shallowness and burn away other layers of protection that were artificially placed. You know, now it's like, these are just in the way. Maybe they were protecting me for a while, but now, like, I can't breathe anymore. Or, you know, like, it's just taken too much effort to get through the layers, to get out there. So I just need to get rid of them completely, because I'm tired of doing this every day. Masculines, you have Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Hanged Man, not the Knight. But both of these energies are kind of slow, kind of inquisitive, kind of like quality versus quantity vibe, right? And that could also be the thing for relationships or whatever new projects are coming in. And the masculines understand that it's not just about getting the result or like checking the box. I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. You know, like that could be part of the disintegrated masculine, where it's all about accomplishment or, you know, winning a competition with someone else, or like making sure that you have a lot of those things to feel good about yourself, right? Because you're a doer, you're making things happen, so to speak, right? And this is seeing value in sitting with the energy and taking it slow, whether it's a relationship or a new business project, right? Like kind of like doing your homework, doing some research, right? Before you jump into conclusion and then go into action, you know? Like the conclusions may come up on their own, but then it's for you to then take that conclusion and look at it from different sides and decide like how valid is that. Challenge yourself on that divine masculine. So it's not to create more doubt in your life, but to see more options. And of course you can use the help of a therapist, a coach, a mentor for that, maybe even a trusted friend. Even like some people work with ChatGPT these days to like bounce off some ideas and see like, what do you think what are my options in this situation? This is what it is, right? Like whatever works. And we have so much information, so much opportunities in our life these days, right? Not to just like go with what we're used to, you know, what our beliefs are around that topic. How the feminines see in the connection at this time. Four of Swords, clarified by Seven of Wands. Feminines feel like they need some healing time. They need safe space. They need harmony and comfort, right? And it's for a good reason. And there are seasons in our life when we do need that, when we want things to be surrounding us to be not necessarily simple, but as like easygoing as possible, right? Want good people, and we don't want to go through unnecessary challenges and obstacles and painful situations, because we know that maybe we're at a weaker point in our life. We're extra vulnerable. We've been through a lot. For some people, it's connected with health directly. And now is the time to take care of yourself, to be able to have that space, you know, not let anybody else invade it and talk you out of it, you know, but actually stay in that truth. You know, I'm taking care of myself and I'm healing myself, and I'm becoming more complete, more healthy, more, you know, well, mentally and physically. So I can be the best version of myself then. Show up for myself and for other people that way. How the masculine see in the connection at this time. So basically, in terms of connection, feminine saying, I need my space, I need my time right now. It's not a time for communication. Which again, for me, immediately alludes to the Mercury retrograde. But you know, that's part of how these transits work. And a lot of people who are skeptical about astrology transits and like how valid is the impact that we're discussing. Like this is kind of like how it works. It may not, like clearly in this case, feminines are not thinking, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, so I better not talk to the masculine or something, right? Like vast majority of people will not be having that train of thought. but somehow, you know, of how you feel in the body, your energy, your mood, general stamina, whatever else is telling you, take care of yourself, go into that cocoon, you know, create comfort and just enjoy the moment. Masculines, how are they seeing the connection? We see Death and Rebirth and Two of Pentacles. Yes, masculines understand that, you know, the wind is changing, a new energy is coming in. And first and foremost, it's going to have impact on the way they interact with the feminine. They have some creative ideas or some business ideas to run past the feminine, to work on something together, maybe even do something silly together, no, put a puzzle together, right? But it's like, you know, new thoughts, insights, and ideas are coming up. It can be about the past, it can be looking into the future, but the first thing the masculines want to do is share with the feminine and have them be part of their life in this. Like, ooh, like immediately you get excited about something and you're like, who do I want to share it with, right? And the feminine comes to mind first and foremost. It might also take a minute though, because the death energy is pretty heavy, generally speaking. You know, it's a complete transformation. It's not just like, oh, this part of my life is over or is changing. No, it's like, you know, I've closed the door to the old life and now I have the new life. And it can come from even as simple as that realization about the feminines in general, right? Like that I was living off a stereotype that I've built in my head, right? But now it's like, whoa, I'm looking at the world with new eyes, basically, right? It may take a minute to integrate that energy and to understand what it would mean for taking action, or how do I want to present myself in this new energy. But this is the excitement, this is the thought, you know, this is the reasoning. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time,